Hello, this is Sarah, painter creator, and it's nice to have you here to share some creativity with me, whether you're just finding our channel or whether you've been with us for a while. It's a channel that I set up for fellow creatives who are chronically ill. I live with quite a lot of energy limiting and painful conditions, and I find that art, and particularly watercolour art, is a really good way of me just not fixating on what I wish what life was, but enjoying creating life as it is. So if that's you, welcome, because you're in good company. And if that's not you, you're welcome too, because the world is a kinder place when we share the love of creativity. So today I'm treating myself. I've got a piece of Arche rough paper out. I love the green on it. It is on normally a 9x12 or a 9x10 or 9x12, by the look of it, a 9x11 even, paper, but I've cut it so it's square, so it's roughly 9 inches square, and I'm going to keep that because I'll probably make either 2 minis or a couple of or a bookmark or something with it, but it's always worth keeping hold of nice paper. So this has come from this. I was playing in my little square sketchbook and I'm really enjoying watching the gouache and the colours just mix on the paint, and I was like, I need to do that big, and so I'm going to do it big, because sometimes you just need to allow yourself to express the energies and the, I don't know, and just go with the flow rather than everything being really tight. So as always with watercolour, we're going to work light to dark, and so I'm going to start off. So I'm just using my Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolours and my Meaden mop brush, and just laying in, using plenty of water, a nice sort of gentle sky. Softening bits off, and I can go back to that if I want to. I might just drop a bit more of the colour into that wash. I love my Meaden mop brush. It's a beautiful brush. It holds lots of paint, lots of pigment, really nice, easy to work with, and yeah, it's just really good. So a nice horizontal. Let's see, I think this is a bit of a Holbein turquoise, but it's just an undercolour. And I'm just going to put in some Chinese white into there. Why not? Not being overly precious with anything today. And a bit of phthalo blue. Wrapping it in. Maybe a little bit of ultramarine as well. See the difference, which is beautiful. sense of movement, a bit of turquoise from the palette. And you could use the Windsor blue. Just enjoy. Oh, got a hair. I'm just going to shift that to the side. There we go. Just enjoy your palette. Enjoy the colours it's got. Whatever you've got, just lay it in there. How lovely is that? Rich and vibrant and beautiful. I'm just going to grab a little trusty tube of white gouache. Oh, and I've got some beautiful granulation coming here. I might just give that, see, a spritz in a spritzer bottle to encourage a bit of granulation coming on there as well, hopefully. And I'm just going to use the gouache straight from the tube. I'm just going to paint in some waves. And because it's wet, it will run. Wash your brush before you put it back in and take some of that water off. Oh, I don't want, there's another one. Gonna add on to that. It's just picking the blue up at the moment. I might just wait a minute on those. I'll go back to them in a minute. I'm just using what we've got. How beautiful is that? Just for a start, I'm just going to grab my smaller Winsor & Newton number 4. Just add a bit more finesse onto the wave. And you're just playing. It's just a play. Push it in. Drop it in. So gorgeous. I'm trying to get a bit more wave-like at the front. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that bloom. Try and just going to go in with my little spritzer bottle. It's an absolutely freeing way of painting because you have absolutely no control, really, and it's brilliant. Just going to join that up as if that's escaping from the wave. Just using my brush on this side. How beautiful is that? Gouache is beautiful, it just runs, it works with you. Just getting my Dr. Martens bleed proof white, because this works in a different way, so I'll be able to put a bit more white accents, again straight from the bottle. Oops, sorry, that's Hubby sneezing. A little bit of a flick. And splatters. It's a bit messy, but it's always fun to do. I know. I just find it so freeing to paint like this occasionally. My table doesn't, I think that's covered in mess, but I love it. I love that sky, I love what's happening there. And that's just showing the texture of the paper. This is a drying wash. I'm just going to get my really big spritzer bottle. It's an old Febreze bottle, and I'm just going to spritz into the sea and see what happens. Just like the spritzer bottles do, I think. And let everything move. So beautiful. I just love it. I love watching things like this, the run that's happening. I love how the gouache is just working with the paper. It's just so beautiful. So I'm going to sit here and watch it for a while, and then I'll come back to you, because I think I might just put some birds on and call it a day, because it's absolutely stunning. It's gorgeous. I love it. And I love the freshness and the freedom that it creates, and using all these blues and turquoises. So I just thought I would check in with you whilst we're doing this. I'm just waiting for some of this to dry a little bit more, and then I'm going to add some more white gouache in. I popped a little bit of Dr. Martens in this part because I wanted that sort of main wave to be feeling it, and I'm just going to spritz it a little bit more. The water just encourages it to just move a little bit, just like the sea does. It's just so like this, it's just so beautiful. If you ever get it to a point where you think it's going over and I can't have it run anymore, all you do is get the hairdryer on, but really, really gentle, because otherwise it'll blow the water that's on the surface. But the longer you can sit with it, I think I've got hair in here. Yeah, I do. The longer you can sit with it, the better it is. If you get a hair in your painting, if you can get it off while it's wet, it's the best thing. There we go. Because you can't help getting hair off you or off the brush. But I'm going to sit with this and I'm just going to try and encourage this to just go a little bit more. So we're still drying. The temptation is to get a brush and work the painting, and that you will lose the fluidity of that. But if you've got something like this that's not moving and you really want it to move, just get some clean water and just drop a little bit of clean water above the wave or above the space that you want to start moving. And you can encourage it to start doing its thing. Tilting the board, let it drop through. And if you want, you can add a bit more white into there. I might do, I might not. Quite like the contrasts. Just getting my gouache. Let's try a little bit in the middle because that's sort of a little bit more white. You must keep washing your brush because you do pick the blue up. Can't be helped. Maybe a bit of a flick. But I am going to stop messing because messing is not helpful. Okay, so we're back. I'm having my lunch, which is really, really nice. And I think this is absolutely gorgeous. I love how this sort of different texture. You could go back in, and I may go back in with a little bit more white gouache on the top. I'm going to just wait and see. If you buy this, you will all be able to have a look at whether I decide to do that on Folksy or not. So I'm going to go in with some birds. It's always a little bit of a sort of a careful thing. So I'm using my number 0 rigger brush, and I'm going, because it's a blue theme, I'm going to use some indigo for my birds. Straight from the palette, My palette's been sprayed, so I'm going to put a bird sort of touching here to link the sky and the sea. So it's in the foreground. A little bit of a body and a little head. I'm just going to extend that a little bit and just thicken. It's worth taking your time and practicing on some spare paper if you're not sure. So that's in the foreground and it's linking the sky and the sea really, really nicely. Just going to take a little bit off my brush just to check. So I'm going to put one probably across here, a bit more in the distance. I love a good seagull. There we go. Maybe one in the mid-ground here, just enjoying the vibe of the air. And perhaps another one just above here. Thicken that up a little bit, just drop that wingtip, and drop that wingtip, and just thicken it up a little bit. So I'm just going to dilute my paint ever so slightly. Okay, so slightly lighter so it's further away. Less detail. Maybe I'm wanting them to sort of feel like they're drawing us into the and if you think, oh, that's a bit dark, you can always get a bit of a paper towel at that point and just knock it back. So maybe one very, very distant one. There we go. So, happy with that. I'm going to just give my brush a really good wash. And using my rigger brush and a little bit of gouache, I'm just going to put a little bit more white on some of these waves. But just a little hint, and then I'm just going to soften it with a spritzer bottle. Holding the brush back and letting it flick. I don't want any big lumps. I don't want too much back here on the horizon because it's in the distance. This little bit of dry brush white works quite nicely, but And just moving a little bit forward to add some white into some of these spaces. Bit of digital art's always good. Just enhances that wave a little bit, particularly at the front. You can use white acrylic for this, it works quite nicely, particularly if you want a little bit of texture on the top. But make sure you clean your brushes well afterwards. Tried to keep that run, I like that run. I just add a little touch here. Okay, so I'm going to stop fiddling with that. Oh, she says, I forgot to do the very last little bit of highlight on this. This wing, so just using it straight from the lid of the gouache. Just putting a little bit of highlight on these that are at the front. Good way of just breaking up. Some have got a bubble under there as well. I'm just going to put that there. So I'm going to just probably just give that one last little spritz of my little baby spritzer bottle, just to loosen up that little bit of gouache that I put on. And then I'm going to let it dry, and then you can take the tape off and give it a sign. I do tend to sign in ink pen because I'm rubbish at signing in paint. I think my hands shake too much, but sometimes you just need a little bit of freedom, and this is watercolour freedom. Like we've only really fiddled at the end. And to me, I love the sea. I'm fortunate enough to live round about 20 minutes away from the sea, 15-20 minutes, which is gorgeous. So this was my little sketchbook inspiration, and this is what it's come to. I do recommend you using your sketchbooks because they're a good way to start. So happy painting. I will pause and then we'll take the tape off. But if you've enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Please think about dropping me a coffee to encourage me in my art creation, because like many disabled people, I'm on very limited incomes. And I look forward to meeting you again online. Check the comments out, there'll be a few links for online shop as well. Have fun, enjoy painting. So I'm giving it a quick blast with the hairdryer. think gouache, when it's thick like this, does take a little bit longer to dry, but that's fine. I've got all the time in the world. So remember, pull the tape away from you. Well, I've really enjoyed painting that. I hope you enjoyed both watching, and I hope you give it a go. I'm just going to sign it and I date it because I quite like to know when things were done. And I think sometimes it's worth getting the more expensive paper out, because this is Arche Rough, the one with the orange front on, if you're looking. And particularly when you're painting loose like this, the texture of the paper comes through, and you can see it, and it's beautiful, and it really adds to the painting. And perhaps you might buy it, you never know. See you soon, happy painting.